Greeting everyone and welcome to the world of Menedegia. This is Power Word Quest bi-weekly Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition livestream campaign. My name is Alex and I'll be your dungeon master this evening.
Jesus, I was not used to me being right next. Hi, I'm Chloe. I'm playing EP13, the Hexblood Blood Hunter.
Hello, I'm Robyn, and I'm going to be playing Qythris, the Hexblood Zealot Barbarian.
Hi, I'm Elliot, and I'll be playing Calvert, the Eladrin Paladin.
And I'm Lukas, playing Calvert the shish kebab.
Hold on.
Calvert the what?
I mean, the shish kebab.
Okay. Thank you for tuning in tonight. If this is the first time you've joined us, welcome. We are Power Word Quest. We stream live on Twitch from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. UK time every Wednesday. And you can find us at twitch.tv/PowerWordQuest.
We also upload our episodes on YouTube. They are uploaded shortly after the weekly episode, and you can find us at youtube.com/PowerWordQuest.
And if you prefer podcasts, you can find us on your favorite podcasting platforms, Spotify and Google Play.
All right, now the introductions are complete. Let's hop right in. We took last week off because we're prepping session 0 for a new campaign. But let's have everyone roll a d20 for me to see who gets the recap.
Oh no, a 10.
19.
A 9.
An 11.
Well, I think it's Robyn.
Good roll, though. Good roll.
Yeah.
All right.
Historically higher than these usually go.
Yeah. Pardon me.
No.
So, we started off the last session, with Thaddeus, kind of waking up in the morning, realizing that they fucked up some shit, and all of us realizing, not realizing, but the house felt a little bit emptier, we didn't know why. For what reason? Murder.
Who's to say? You don't know that.
I don't know that. Murder? Who's she? And then after that, I believe Calvert went up to pick up a gift for the king, and we all went round to get our clothing on and get all of that shit ready. I believe that last session we all got fitted for our clothes as well. They got like molded to our body and shit. And was it last session as well that Calvert met the Forge God? Or the Forge Dragon?
Yes,
Yes,
together with
okay.
the sword being made for the princess, I think.
Yes, you met Thunberchad, the ancient red dragon, who is also the minor god of the Forge.
We're
Orin's
collecting
patron.
Dragons like Pokemon cards. Yes.
Yes.
God of miners.
God of Might. No.
Nope.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Sorry.
No.
Nope. I was thinking it. I didn't say it.
What?
And then, that all happened. We picked up the gift Calvert went up with Orin to go pick up the gift. Then we all settled off on our way to the big ol' fucking party that was happening. We awkwardly sat down for food, we danced, and...
Yeah, we slayed.
Yeah, we slayed hardcore. Aoife had the most awkward ism-based conversation that I have ever seen in my life. It was all going pretty well. And then we met the king, we met the king's granddaughter. It was great, it was fun, it was vibey. And then the Ingwanites decided to turn up, and we're like, yo, surrender, bro. And then the grandpa was like, nah. And then it all kicked off. Shit kicked off. Also, I forget his name now. Kevin? Was it Kevin?
Kevin.
Yeah.
Kevin.
Kevin got possessed by the Ingwanite leader, is what we're kind of assuming, and really rocked our shit. Like, really rocked our shit. We got our shit rocked hardcore.
Yeah.
And I've
Please
also
put an F in the chat for Kevin.
F for Kevin.
Yeah, he had a quite respectable death in the end. He
Yeah.
kind of redeemed himself, kind of.
Kind of.
Bisected.
Yeah, I got bisected. It was messy, it was bad, there was some bad rolls that also contributed to the situation. It wasn't great. Calvert got shish kebabbed. May got knocked down. Aoife, I believe, was incapacitated, and Calvus was crawling over to Orin while Orin was also down, I believe. Like, my baby!
Both of
Basically,
y'all, you're in the same
everyone
space.
was down or incapacitated. He was
And
throwing
then-
out 9th level spells at y'all.
Yeah. And then Qythris turned up and pulled some big ice mommy moves. Like, damn. And was like, you fuck my bitches, they're my bitches to fuck. And then rammed per Kevin. No further context on that. That's
Robyn,
where
Robyn, I have a question
yeah.
for the test. Even though it's not my test to give. What was the princess's name?
Had
Mid.
this-
Mid.
we had this conversation before stream.
I've already forgotten.
Princess Mydra, who
Mydra.
joined in the fighting using her new gift from Thaddeus, but was, didn't fare much better than the rest of y'all in
No.
that
That
fight.
bitch also got fucked.
Mhm.
So you all got through by the skin of your teeth, managing to beat down the vessel of King Yorkfell enough that Qythris was able to, at the last moment, appear and R.I.P. Kevin.
Mhm.
But as we come back to the scene, those of you who were incapacitated by the psychic scream are able to move again. Many of you are unconscious, bleeding out. Yes, Chloe, you had your hand up first.
Haha!
Don't worry,
Maybe-
no rush.
Now that Aoife's not incapacitated anymore,
Mhm.
she bloody and, a bit fucked up looking herself, kinda goes over to Calvert. She's still in her wolfy form, as she kinda bites the hilt of the sword that's sticking out of his chest,
Mhm.
and kinda yanks it out with her teeth, and then gives you all 5 points of her lay on hands.
Thank you, lad.
And yeah,
5, did you say?
5.
Yeah, so-
And that's visualized by a little, the little nose bump that dogs do when you're sad and they're trying to cheer you up. It's just like a wee, That's how lay on hands works.
As you feel this power, this healing power flow into you, Calvert, you gasp awake, having healed just enough to keep you from bleeding out from your wounds. And probably you come conscious just in time to feel the last bit of the sword being removed from your body.
Oh.
Sorry. I'm trying. Yeah.
Need a minute.
Yeah.
Oh,
Do you need a hand getting up?
no, I want to kind of just lay here and cry 1 second.
Mhm.
Girl, me too. But we can't stay here forever.
Calvis.
A silent image, a blanket for myself.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't have the map in front of me, but I believe that May and Orin are the closest to me, and they were both down.
I can double check.
I've got 1 HP right now. I'm not sure who healed me.
Me.
The king.
Yeah.
Was it not the king?
Yeah, the king healed you.
The stabilized.
Oh yeah, they
Yeah,
stabilized me. Yeah.
He healed you because
He said he
if
wouldn't
you'll
kill you.
recall, he wanted you
No.
alive.
I don't like that.
That's weird, though.
Probably
I
'cause
don't.
Anyway,
Yeah, the heart. I know.
Calvus will squat down, get on his knees between y'all, grab y'all's hands, and give y'all both 10 lay on hands.
Yeah. As you do that, Orin begins to move again as he's freed from the spell. He pumps some healing magic into himself before tending to the princess, who is, like, not necessarily too badly injured. She got hit by the psychic scream, and that took her out of the fight relatively early. Qythris is still with you, and she is kind of just standing over the corpse of Kevin. She retrieved her spear of black ice from the body and is just kind of ominously standing there.
I think May will kind of stalk crawl, kind of like, you know, the way where a cat kind of moves, and it's just kind of like, it knows it's looking at you, but it's just trying to, like, get low. She'll stalk crawl over to Calvert, lag on the floor, and just kind of, like, interpose herself in between Calvert and Qythris.
Oh, fuck.
Gotcha. Yeah, the room has grown very silent. And as you all look about, you see basically a couple smoldering heaps of corpses where people cluster together while trying to avoid the rain of fireballs that Yorkville had thrown into the crowds. You see from the cast open doors where you all entered and some other side exits that some people did manage to escape. But for the most part, they all met the same fate. Yes.
I know Qythris is there, but honestly, with how Kevin was throwing the fireballs, I think Calvus would instantly try to give everyone he sees a point of lay on hands and hope that they're still rolling death saves and see how many wake up.
Yeah, you start to move your way over to where some of the fallen sit. But as you do, a flicker of movement catches your eye in the corner of your vision, and you see over where Thaddeus was standing. You see as he begins to not transform, but is enveloped by this pitch black, heaving flesh made of many twisting limbs of different shapes and sizes encompasses him until it becomes just this large, nondescript shape, a few times larger than him. You try to make sense of it, but it seems to be made of many different types of flesh at once. Its limbs seem to be a different number every time you try to count them. And this thing makes its way over to some of the fallen. What do you want to do?
Can I roll my hammer?
Well, you can. Make an attack roll for me.
Ooh, that was almost a net one. It's 20, not net.
Yeah, you throw your hammer and it flies true, and it hits this thing in the side and just stops as soon as it makes contact with it and stays there for a moment before slowly sliding down the side of it and clambering to the floor. You watch as this thing makes it to the closest pile of corpses to it and begins to feast on them. And this is what, and as Callus throws the hammer, this is when the rest of you all's attention is turned to this thing.
What the fuck is that?
Calvert, there's a sense of recognition there for you.
Wait.
And you, as the rest of you notice this thing, you would notice that Thaddeus is gone.
Where's Thaddeus?
I don't know.
And there.
Wait, he's the fucking...
Wasn't he like just like swallowed?
We should probably try and move the corpses away, but also part of me wants to see what happens.
Elvis is like actively trying to last minute put those 1 HPs in there.
As it continues to feast, you see it grows and grows in size with each new one it takes. It's like...
I'm gonna silent image a massive, like, biggest pile of corpses away from the other smaller ones.
I love the phrase "silent image," the biggest pile of corpses.
How big can it be?
It's
This thing
big.
is unfortunately not distracted by that. It seems to follow the corpses by scent and by taste of the charred blood on the ground.
Can Aoife try and bark a fire bolt at the thing?
Yeah, you can try.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it'll work, but, you know,
Oh, I've got an idea. Sorry.
that is a 17.
Similar to when Calvus threw his hammer, it collides, but then the flames sort of dissipate and harmlessly wash over the hide of this thing as it continues to feast, and you all can hear the crunching of bones as it feasts.
Can I get a con save? DC 17.
Yeah. What are you doing?
Meditate.
That is very clever. Very clever,
I
thank
like
you.
So yeah, it works. You see the center mass of this thing begin to lift up. Some crooked, broken limbs begin to flail about, looking like the arms and legs of many different types of creatures, some looking disturbingly humanoid, others much more animalistic. And as it lifts, massive tentacles unfurl from amongst the other limbs and begin to reach down and grip onto the floor and pull itself back down. And it seems wholly unbothered by your attempts to disturb its feasting.
5.
I think Elliot had their hand up first that time.
Yeah.
Honestly, Aoife can help me with it if she
Mhm.
would
Yeah,
say
yeah.
what. Aoife, help me out here. And
Okay.
starts dragging the corpses away, trying to lure it with him.
Okay, yeah, Aoife can do that. Aoife can totally do that. She's not going to be affected by corpses at all. Fresh,
Yeah.
hot,
You
burning corpses.
Cannibalism. Stop it. Aoife, don't. Not today.
you start pulling away some of the corpses that are further away from it. It's kind of perched up on a particularly big pile. And the more it feasts and the larger it grows, the slower its movements become. until it seems to have had its fill, so to
Oh,
say.
I hate that. I fucking hate that.
At which point, it begins to shrink in upon itself until it is gone,
Oh, well,
leaving
that changes
leaving
what I
no
was gonna do.
trace of it or Thaddeus in its wake.
Oh, shit.
What the fuck? Oh, fuck. So it disappeared too quickly for me to do it, but I was gonna try that gate spell that I got in the tavern. It might have worked. I didn't know what to do.
It's
I have a concussion.
Don't worry, it's okay.
And as it disappears, you hear Mydra she just very bluntly, you can tell she's just very numb to everything happening right now, just kind of says under her breath, well, that'll make cleanup easier. And she begins to kind of half walk, half limp her way back over to the throne, where she sort of collapses into her seat. Her sword that she retrieved clambering to the ground beside her.
Well, everyone, shall we? I'm tired. But I think we might need to discuss with people, or in
True, there is also like a practical goddess over here standing still over Kevin's body. Perhaps we should talk to her.
Oh, sorry,
I mean,
she was
I forgot about her as well. Qythris! What? Please enlighten us about anything. We're not thinking very clear right now. Could you please?
We were hit in the head with a psychic scream. Our
That
heads
kind
are
of
empty.
gets us. She kind of breaks like a smile at that comment, just being like, "Oh, I'm just so glad I was able to get here in time." Caught me at a very inopportune moment. Sorry, what was that?
Wait, what were you doing beforehand?
Important things.
It just seems weird. Like, why come in at the last minute?
Perhaps the bat signal did not go off.
What the fuck's the bat signal?
What's a bad signal?
Is this a Feywild thing?
Yes, it is. It's like when vampires go fly up in the air.
It's
as
vampires
bats.
in the Wait, vampires are real?
You
I
didn't
mean,
know
if
that?
werewolves are... If I'm real, then probably, yeah.
I guess, actually.
How do you know about vampires? You don't even know what society.
Society!
Anyway, I'm sorry, Qythris. We got hit in the head very hard.
Calvus is one of several individuals I have tasked with championing my cause. He may be among my favorites, but I cannot always come running to his aid at the drop of a pin.
How did you know we needed help?
That's a very good question, actually.
I didn't know you needed help. I knew Calvus was on death's door.
Oh.
We were
Sounds
just
about right.
like not the collateral. What's the word for the damage runabout? Yeah, collateral.
damage.
Collateral.
Yeah.
Oh, don't mistake me, children. It's not that I'm not fond of each of you. I just don't share the same connection to you that I do with Calvus.
Oh, I'm not.
Yeah, we're not from your bit.
We're not like. I'm not like, wow, why didn't you come when I needed help? No, I mean, like, how did you know Calvus was almost dying?
The same way I know what the weather is like today. I just know.
Wait, so you don't look at the weather, you just know the weather?
Qythris wakes up and she's like, oh, it's gonna be sunny today.
Feel a bit of rain.
Sorry, this is not
Oh
what
my
Calvus is
God,
actually saying.
I can tell it's raining.
Yen or something.
Thunder going on outside. Oh my gosh, I think it's thunder.
Wait.
He's not saying this all of the, by the way.
Why didn't you come and help when we were getting attacked by the mind flayers then? We almost all died.
But you didn't.
Not me. I was frozen.
Yeah, Calvus was. Calvus
I was pretty much fine the entire fight.
Calvus was fine.
I guess.
And like I said,
Just
I can't
feel-
always.
Perhaps you just should throw me into the fight first, get me down,
enough-
and then.
Oh, I don't believe I'm on trial here now. So you can just say thank you and be grateful
Thank
that I
you.
saved your
We
lives.
are very grateful. Sorry.
No, I mean, I'd rather you came like slightly earlier so I didn't get into sword.
Sorry, he
No.
got a sword through the chest.
Calvert is
He's
very
still a
cranky
bit
right
just
now.
now.
Yes, well,
He needs
perhaps
some sleep.
perhaps he needs
Why
another
not?
one through his chest.
I feel like my emotions are being very much downplayed.
That won't be necessary, Qythris.
Did
Don't
you-
even worry about it.
Did you die?
Almost.
And remind me, what happened
Oh,
when
We're
you
not
did
gonna hold
die?
this over my head. We're not going to hold that over my head. There's one thing we're not going to do here.
Who?
I said
Who?
when you revived me if there was anything going to happen with this, and you said no.
No.
So you do not get to hold it over
But-
my head.
But I'm sorry. Who saved your life? Who revived you when you were dead
Calvus.
and a corpse?
Calvus.
Who did the actual act of reviving?
I don't know, I was dead.
Oh,
Me.
I
well,
might have been with that, but I fully believe it was Calvus because actually,
Calvert.
sorry, wrong answer.
Darling, we don't even try.
Me?
all I'm saying is, I just think it's rather convenient that she comes when we're all down and she can save the day, and then we need to be thankful for her.
We are very thankful. Thank you, Qythris. We appreciate you always.
Oh,
You're
of course,
fantastic.
of course, darling.
Okay,
Darling.
mate. I just called you darling. We call everybody darling in the Feywild. That's fine.
Okay.
Me, why
want to
was
say-
she being an owl? Why was she being an owl earlier? She kept saying who. I don't get it.
I believe that was her attempt at sarcasm, actually.
Oh.
Oh,
All I'm saying
mean-
is that it'd be very
Well.
much appreciated if you were.
No, please finish your thought, Calvert,
need to draw this.
Calvert, wizard extraordinaire.
Oh,
Finish your thought.
What's the quote? I'm trying to think of the quote. Tatiana says it to Raven.
Well, which one?
I'm just like, quiet. I'm talking. You will. Oh, I can't remember. It's fine. I forgot. I'd very much appreciate it if you were just more forthcoming with everything, because you act like all this high and mighty, like your royalty of Archfey or
Yes, yes.
whatever. But well, just yeah, on you go.
no, go ahead.
I just think it's fishy. If you could come and save us, why is it when we're all dead? And when you come and save me, why is it when I'm dead?
Because I
was
don't-
rolling death saves as well.
Because, child, let me do some teaching.
Okay.
I don't owe any one of you a single thing.
Okay.
You owe me your lives.
No, I made sure.
And if you can't be grateful for that, I will take them as they are rightfully mine.
I'm feeling a little sassy right now, so I'm just going to say this. Is it really worth life if you've got to be forever indebted to someone if they're just going to hang it over your head?
Calvert, I think.
If you've had
You're not
enough,
eating this up,
if
but you
you've
think
had
you are.
enough, you can join the other corpses over there. Would you like that, Calvert? I can arrange that quite easily for you.
Calvus, you're just going to let her threaten me.
Calvus
Well,
isn't going
me-
to do anything. Because
I think
Calvus
you're
is
putting
a
me in a
good.
very
Because
uncomfortable
Calvus
position
is
right
a
now.
good little boy who listens to mommy.
Wait, why are you talking?
Hold on. Rewind.
Mommy, sorry. Mommy, sorry.
Mommy, what? Sorry, mommy. No.
Right.
I didn't know you had children. I wasn't aware of that. Secondly, please pardon my friend. He has had a rough day. We all have. My throat hurts. It's Calvert, we love you. We're glad you're
Oh,
alive.
don't,
Just
Elvis, don't worry. If I was going to kill him, I would have done it already.
I'm so sorry. Ever winteriness. I have a long day and a sword through my abdomen.
Yes, I
I'm so sorry.
understand.
I did not see your
I understand, child. It's okay.
ambivalent
It's
radiance.
okay,
very sweet
sweet
calls.
child.
I'm going to sleep.
Shush.
Okay. Go to sleep, Calvert.
my
Have a
question
nap.
is, though, perhaps, do you know any information about Kevin or who was possessing Kevin or what the hell is what even the fuck was that creature
Oh
that
yes,
just
I
fell
do.
through the
I
ground?
do.
It was
I have so much information.
throw it at me,
well-
and he just sits down.
Well, that was the tyrant king who's conquered most of your world and my home.
He's a wee bitch.
Yes, I agree. So much. As for that other thing, I have my theories, but it's nothing you need to fear.
So it's on our side.
Try me, bitch. Try me. Roll that insight.
Okay.
I rolled a 9. I'm gonna use that inspiration.
Yeah, go for it.
Even gonna try. Aoife does not do very well with insight.
I rolled a 16.
I got an 11.
She seems to genuinely... It seems genuine, the statement. It's nothing you need to fear. Yes,
Okay.
Chloe.
I think Aoife would remember that time in Vass's Tavern where Thaddeus was super hungry, like Aoife levels of
Mhm.
hungry.
Mm-hmm.
And where she was like, damn, okay, if you eat that fast, you're gonna have a sore tummy. And the dots are connecting. The dots connected. So, do you think that was in Thaddeus like the whole time? Because we went to like see a friend and we were having breakfast and he was like crazy hungry. Do you remember that, May? He was like that the plate was fucking stacked.
Mm-hmm.
I should probably reveal something.
Oh yeah.
You've been keeping secrets?
You're
it's
straight.
that I haven't had a chat. What? While I'm talking about this,
Whoa.
quickly say to Nimbus because Qythris has like feathers, is it? Or
It's more like fur, you know, like she's got like she typically appears in the way you've seen her before in a very regal dress with some like little bits of armor and fur and stuff. Right now she's wearing like full battle regalia, like just
okay.
yeah. She's here for a fucking fight.
Okay, I'll save this plan for another day. So, Qythris, do you want to hear about this too? Because
Oh yes, please. I'd love to hear what the great wizard Calvert
Okay.
has to say.
Shall we make a little deal then for the information, or we just consider it as friends? You know.
Oh, yeah,
So-
I love having friends.
Flashbacks and Warlock.
So, remember how Thaddeus had that weird book?
The one that was made of skin or something. It was like really weird. I don't know. It wasn't book. It wasn't book material.
I mean,
I think-
technically that's Skin can be, because leathering is fine.
I thought it was Olivia's.
For
Yeah,
the
skin-
for the record, Thaddeus's book does
forgot.
not look like it's made of human skin. It
Yeah,
just looks
no,
like a
Olivia
very
does, yeah.
old, like leather bound tome.
Okay, my dumbass forgot.
You're good.
Sorry.
Yeah, so I was like, I'm going to read this, is that okay? And he was like, yes, here you go. And I was like, you can read my book. So I was reading the book, right? And you know when you read a book and it's a really good story and you get transported to another Never mind, guys, can't talk about it.
Calvert, please finish. We're
Right,
on the edge of our seats that we don't have.
You read from his book,
Maybe.
and what happened?
I don't know. Actually, it seems to have piqued your interest, so I don't know if I'll tell you.
I know something you don't know.
Well, shall we trade it? Or, better yet, I've got a request if you could make it for me and I'll tell you what I saw.
I'll show you mine if you show me yours.
It really depends, because I want to ask you to do something for me, but...
What? Lay out your offer on the table.
Well, I kind of want to know... Those decisions, I hate making these.
Lay it all bare, Calvert.
You can also be like in someone's debt. What I can't remember what it's called. Like a favor.
Yeah.
A favor in the future.
Actually, no. Information for information seems more fair, so we'll do that. You said you'd do it first, or do you want me to do it first?
No, you go first.
Okay, shake on it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, your hands lock and you feel like a sharp pang of cold run up your arm, and when your hand comes away, there's like a layer of frost on the palm of your hand.
Wow, that's freezing. I'd say my skin turned blue, but so I read this book. I was transported to some weird like altar room, and like there was I'm trying to recall this as best as I can. There was like a shadowy visions of Thaddeus, right? That was like, yeah.
Yes.
Yes. And like this, there was in the altar there was like a chalice or something, and in it was like this writhing, fleshy thing. So I went up to it because who wouldn't? Curiosity. And when I was there, I don't know. It felt like it was showing me like all these different like, if my dad loved me, big joke, right? And all these other things. It was like showing me what could have been like, or what can be, very strange, very hard to decipher. And then I sort of touched it, and then I could do the thing with the illusions. Don't know what that entails. Also, Thaddeus had a weird thing on his shoulder. A weird, like, fleshy thing. I think he may have become it.
Yeah, for the other three of you, no,
Yeah,
you
I think
fucking
we all
didn't.
saw that.
Nope.
No. Oh,
No.
we didn't.
None of you all saw that thing.
Ooh.
Was that what was making him so hungry?
I don't... No, I think he just woke up that one morning because that thing appeared. I don't know when it appeared, though. But possibly? I don't know, I just know after I read that book I could see it now. It was like this weird, like, slug thing. It sort of resembled that thing that was just sort of sucking up the corpses. So I'm thinking maybe it got a bit hungry and saw some free food.
Well, I'll fill in some of the blanks for you.
Oh, is this the...
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You, after reading that book, met your friend's master, the one who provides him with his power. Similar to the arrangement Calvus and I have, but not quite the same. Calvus has a great bit more autonomy in relation to me than Thaddeus does. It seems you made a connection to this entity, though not quite on the level as your friend, and if my theory is correct, it finally had enough power to physically manifest on the material plane. And that's what was just here.
Oh, lovely.
Not delving
The
into that
patron.
further, I guess. That'd be horrible. Well, thank
And
you, Qythris. That's way actually. Yeah, thank you. It was very nice of you to share.
Yes, you're welcome.
See, look, you're getting
Now-
along. That's great to see.
If there's nothing else, I do not mean to be rude, but there's urgent business that demands my returned attention if you all are no longer on death's door.
We're good, Snow Lady. Thank you.
Yes, of course,
Thank
dear.
you. Thank you for coming.
Yes,
Save
of
us
course.
again.
And she like holds out her hand to you, Calvus.
Okay. Of course, he does the obvious. You know what you do for any queen.
And with
Grabs
that,
the hand and kisses it.
yes, good.
Obviously.
And with that, she disappears as a flurry of snowflakes burst from where she was.
I really don't like her.
I don't trust her as far as I can throw a spear.
I feel like you could throw a spear pretty far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she doesn't trust her as far as that, you know.
Right. Yeah, so I don't know what I've done while reading that book, but yeah, that's where the comes from.
Are you hungry?
Bitch, I'm starving.
No. There's a difference between hungry and hungry.
Oh no, with this figure, no.
I don't get that.
Okay.
Please clarify.
I don't know. I'm just I'm not hungry. It's
Like-
unfathomable.
Okay.
Um,
You're hungry for knowledge, but not for food. Got it.
So proud of you. That was such a terrible joke.
Yay! I succeeded at the comedy.
I wouldn't say that.
Oh,
but
sorry.
No, it's a great multiclassing into bard.
I've multi-classed once already. Don't tempt me again.
Shall we go talk to your boyfriend, Calvus?
My boyfriend.
Oh, sorry. Was it more of a casual thing?
I don't know. And you see, Calvert just stares into the distance, trying to figure out what they are.
You haven't had that talk yet.
We haven't had that thought.
Or the
yet.
Callis haven't had the so what is this conversation.
Honestly, this has also been a thing since yesterday, 2 days ago. So. Anyway, you mean Oren, right? Oren! Oren! What?
Yeah, he's standing over by Mydra, but he kind of turns over his shoulder and looks at you.
Are you? Alright.
He looks fucking rough, but you know, he's on his feet.
I think we all look.
I'm just gonna cast message. Orin, can you come over? We want to chat.
You could have just he just responds out loud. Like you could have just said that out loud, and he just kind of like, you know, he like looks at Mydra like kind of concerned. Is like, I'll be right back, and strides over.
She can come too if she wants.
I think she'd rather sit and rest. If y'all want to come over here. Okay, cool, gotcha.
We're gonna come over there.
Yeah,
Just
you
give
all
us a
you all
second.
gather around the throne.
In about 5 minutes.
In 5 working days.
Yeah. As of right now, the 4 of you, Orin and Mydra, are the only living souls in the room.
Ooh.
Was there no one to be saved?
No.
I really tried.
Question.
There are a bunch of people with commoner stat blocks that got fireballed. Like,
1 HP,
Fireball.
maybe.
Anyway, where's the king's body?
oh, it's just like on the ground, right, like crumpled onto the ground right next to the throne. Like where he was
Okay.
standing next to the throne.
For flavor.
Where's the... Sorry, continue.
No, it's okay. I was gonna say for flavor, Aoife shifts back into normal 2-leg form.
Mm-hmm.
And takes off the little cloak thing of her outfit and just kind of puts it over
Yeah. Mydra
the
nods gratefully to you. She is... she is much more so just like mentally exhausted than physically. Like her fucking grandpa / father figure just died. A good like chunk of her like important subjects. Like we're talking like no heads of noble families, military leaders, like the like this is yeah.
Did the king have a crown?
He had like a modest like circlet rather than like a proper ornate crown. It seems very in contrast to sort of the grandeur of everything else about.
May will go over to the king's body. Is the crown nearby? Did it fall off?
It's still on his head. He the way he died was he just kind of sort of crumpled to the ground, as if he like had a heart attack or something where he stood.
May will very delicately pick it up off of his head, strut over to the throne. She's not like carrying the crown with any sense of dignity or anything like that. She's just kind of carrying it at her side.
Mm-hmm.
I can imagine that Mydra's kind of flouncing and like sitting down in the chair.
She's
so
very
May will
just like
Yeah.
no dignity at all. Just like
titties out to the wind. May will chuck the crown at her feet.
she'll just kind of look at it and look back at you and just sort of nod, but not really stoop to pick it up or anything. Well, I suppose I have the lot of you to thank for my life.
Yeah.
Sort of. Not really. Or pleasure.
Yeah. I mean, you seem to be physically doing a bit better than us right now.
Yes, I appreciate all that you did. As she is kind of sitting, recovering, Oren picks up the crown and hands it to her, and she just kind of sets it on her lap. And she's not really looking at anyone when she speaks. She's very much like 1,000-yard stare.
Mm.
Well, Oren, it seems I'm in need of a new High General. How would you like the job? And he just kind of like awkwardly shuffles where he stands. As you wish, Your Highness. Good. My grandfather was an old, arrogant fool. I loved him dearly, but his passiveness is to blame for how the war has gone. My people will sit by idly no longer. In 1 year's time, I will march my armies on the Ingwanites. My titans who guard the shores will trample his cities to dust. I would have you four aid me in taking vengeance upon King Yorgfell, as I'm sure he has wronged each of you.
Yes. I thank you for the offer. For this opportunity.
May cuts her hand. May cuts her hand and places it out in front of her to go, as if to go shake hands with her.
And without like even hesitating, she pulls like a concealed dagger out from like one of the folds of her dress and cuts her hand and does the same.
She pulls her in even tighter, so like May's face is right up in hers.
Mm. She doesn't flinch or really even blink.
We're in this till his head rolls on the ground, child. Yes?
I'll leave the honors to you.
Mm-hmm. Go back up.
That was a sleigh.
That
So
was a
as-
fucking slave.
Sure, Calvus will do the same, except for he'll just take some blood that is already on his body. I'm not gonna cut another episode.
Yeah. Just, just shake hands with
Yeah,
you.
Stamesies.
Yeah. She'll
Yeah.
she'll hold the grasp with Aoife for a little bit longer, and she'll just say, I've heard stories of people like you. Where do you hail from?
The way
Yes, I should have known.
the woods and
And dear.
just outside of Deer, it's like north.
Mm.
Um,
And are there others like you there?
I'm in the process of finding out about that. So when I find out, I will let you know. Because it was me and my grandma, and she, and then it was just me. So I know what that feels like. She kind of awkwardly gestures to the corpse on the floor.
She's like very just like numb right now. She'll just kind of glance over it and just be like, I see.
Yeah, you don't feel
No.
anything for a while until you do.
Your name was again
Aoife.
Aoife. I look forward to working with you.
Nice. I look forward to working with you too. But it's been a day, so
Yes.
maybe we should all rest.
Yes. And with that, she'll release your hand.
Yay! I get my hand back.
I don't need to cut my hand, do I? Or is that something we
It's
need to do?
symbolic. It's not an expectation. If you don't want to cut your hand, you don't have to. I was just matching the energy of your
Okay,
friend.
I'll just shake your hand normally then.
Yes, I'm sorry for the blood
And-
that's going to get on it.
It's all right, and I'll say an image like when our hands are clasped, it'll be like an arcing circle, and ribbons that like go around our wrists, and like as the shake happens, it'll like fade away.
And what's your background, wizard?
I'm part of the Order of Scribes. But I recently found out they might be a little bit corrupted due to the Ingonite stuff. Is there a branch here, actually?
There is, yes. I'll arrange a meeting for you.
I have got a quick question about a potential operation to do with Sun Reserdu, but we can discuss that at another time.
Of course. Well,
Thank you.
I am sure you all are even more weary than I find myself. And I am in excess of guest chambers. Now, you are welcome to make yourselves comfortable here tonight. And we shall discuss more of what's to come in the morning. Orin, I believe you know the way and can show them to the accommodations. He nods, and yes, and with that, she dismisses you all, and Orin will lead you into some of the guest chambers that would have likely previously been occupied by important people that were here for the party. But they're not, they're not using them anymore.
They're free.
Bookcases left? Maybe some gold?
Can we loot the bodies?
But the body, let the bodies hit the floor.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be some unseen servants that take care of those.
Yeah, that's fair.
Well, I mean, those bodies must have been carrying quite some gold if they were, heading to see the princess, right? Can we? Are there still bodies left?
I feel like in a dwarven
Yeah,
game,
but I feel like
they're-
looting the corpses of the queen's subjects right fucking in front of her is maybe not
Yeah.
a great move.
Yeah, let's not. Let's leave that one.
All right.
Like you do you. I just gotta say, like, maybe not a sleigh.
What did I walk back into?
They want to loot
was
the
gonna loot
corpses.
I
No.
was meaning like the because we're getting the rooms of.
Yeah,
Yeah,
oh yeah,
like
you
the
could look
rooms,
around
like
in the rooms and see if there's anything interesting left there. Sure. I mean, finders keepers, right? It's not like these people potentially have families that would inherit their belongings or anything like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Maybe
but that's
do they
okay.
have a granny's magic book? No. Or do they?
Dun. Don't know what's up with my camera all of a sudden.
Yeah, it's like having trouble focusing for some reason.
Yeah.
Anywho,
I think.
yeah, it takes a couple of minutes as Orin leads you all through the halls of the castle. You make your way up a couple flights of stairs and come into a pretty luxurious wing of suites, where you're all able to have, if you wanted a bed to yourself and a room, with ensuite and everything, but y'all split up how you want.
Who wants to go first?
I'll just have a room to myself, please.
Gotcha. Yeah, and you'll have this time to unwind after the day. So if there's anything anyone would like to do before we take our long rest, Chloe.
I think Aoife would go and find me. Because I don't know if they'd be sharing a room or not. I'm not sure if, whatever. If May wants her own room,
God, no.
But I think, like, Aoife doesn't know how any of this works, okay?
Hey,
These Sorry.
May would have essentially spent a good amount of time pre-campaign living in like a commune, so I feel like the suite to yourself would be unsettling.
Yeah, no. Mm-mm.
For Aoife, these suites, even though they're luxurious and kind of by dwarf standards and by everyone else's standards, this is like 3 or 4 times the size of the cabin that Aoife grew up in. It's once again that everything is too big feeling. So she goes and finds me and just asks for a hug.
Yeah, May just instantly is just like, okay, big hug. Like gets down on her knees and just kind of like gives you one of those like really encapsulating ones.
That was really scary.
I hated every moment of it. I felt the weakest I have ever felt. I felt hunted, which I haven't felt in a very long time.
Yeah, y'all nearly died. And that was really scary. I'm not good with words, but I've never really had friends before, and you guys are the closest I've ever had to friends. And it made me really sad and scared. Seeing everyone, so badly hurt. I suppose it's one thing for me to be bloody because that's normal. But for everyone else, that's not normal.
I feel like we're going to need to get used to seeing everyone be really hurt a lot. I mean, Calvert has a real bad problem with just running into swords a lot. So we're gonna need to deal with that. But we're going to need to get used to seeing each other hurt, which isn't something easy to do. It doesn't mean it's right. It just means that when we see each other get hurt, we hurt those that hurt us twice as hard.
But what if I don't want to hurt anyone anymore?
That's
What if I'm tired of hurting people?
That's okay as well. You can help people who are hurt then. That's even better by most people's standards.
Would
Would you like to help people more than hurt them?
I think Aoife has a big long think about this. Because she's been trying to be good. She's been trying to kind of fit in and be normal and be just a regular teenage girl. Which is scary in itself. But every time she's been in a situation where there's been dead people, she's felt this kind of draw. And even though she's a Hex Blood now, and Lananchi helped her, with the whole Blood Hunter thing, she's not like wolfy time all the time, and she's not starving ravenously hungry. It's just when there's that amount of fresh cooked meat, and she can't quite get the smell out of her nose. It's one of those things that even when you leave a place, you can still smell it, like in here, and you can kind of taste it almost.
Yeah.
It's like a barbecue, but not good.
A very unethical barbecue.
Unethical barbecue, and something stirs deep down, something that has kind of laid dormant for a few months, and she doesn't know what it is, and that scares her a lot. She speaks up. I don't know. On one hand, it feels freeing to kind of do whatever we want to do, whether that's to hurt or to help. And I suppose it's fun, like being goofy and being able to run about, but I don't know. These are big thoughts for me.
Hurting and helping are just as natural to animals as everything else. Hurting's what we focus on a lot when we think of wolves and when we think of beasts. People don't like to focus on the helping that people do, or that beasts do. People don't like to focus on the fact that you need to sometimes hurt to help.
Do you think Kevin was scared?
I think Kevin was terrified. I think Kevin knew fear that I don't think any of us will probably feel a lot. I think Kevin knew what it was like to be puppeted and then watch as their body moved and killed people that they didn't have any control over. I think Kevin knew a lot of fear.
It reminded me of Granny. A little bit.
How so?
Because, I'm sure he didn't like us very much, because we didn't really like Kevin.
No, not really.
No, he was a wee dick.
Yeah, he was a little shit.
But, I don't think he would have wanted to hurt that many people. And he seemed scared, as you were saying. And that's the way that Granny got with me. They didn't want to do what they did, but they did it anyway. And then they get scared and sad and promise that they're sick or they're puppeteered, and they promise it won't happen again, and I don't know.
It's something out of their control. It's something completely out of their control. And there's an honor in that, I guess. At least they apologized for it in the end. But sometimes to end fear, you need to hurt fear.
I don't know. I know that you know more than me, so that's why I'm talking to you about it. I don't know. I feel safe with you and Calvis and even Calvert. Thaddeus too, but he's not here anymore.
That boy's not.
Granny.
Yeah. I think there might be a parallel between your granny and Thaddeus to pull in what happened there. I'm not sure how much of that was in his control. I'm not sure how much of that was his want. I hope it wasn't.
He threw up when he saw me eating that guy at the camp.
He did.
So I don't think he would like to be eating people.
We'll see about
Yeah.
that. I don't think so.
People are
Anyways.
really chewy.
I know, right? They're fucking chewy. Like, genuinely. Like, there's not even, like, a nice part of people to eat. Like, there's not a part of them that's, like, decent enough to eat. Like, they're just all chewy. And they're so hard to cook as well. Sometimes they're better just to be eaten raw. But then you're like, oh my god, but what if they've got parasites? Because people have parasites too. And then you're just like, let's go build a
How
fort.
do you know this?
I think
How
we're
do you
gonna.
know this?
I think we're gonna fade this conversation to black and transition on over to Calvert. What's cracking?
My ribs, apparently. It's sword anchoring. I think Calvert will look up Calvis.
Yeah.
Got a bone to pick.
Oh.
Oh, I see.
Fight.
Can I give a little description of what is Calvus is going? What Calvus is doing in his room before Calvert comes?
Sure. Yeah.
Butt ass naked, lying on the
Well,
sofa.
I'll say Orin.
Only a towel.
I'll say Orin excused himself to see to Mydra for a bit.
Fair.
But yeah.
All right, so basically, Calvus is. I assume there's like a sink and a mirror or something similar. It's fancy, so
Yeah. They have. We've established that they have running water here.
yeah. So basically, he's just standing in front of this mirror, leaning on the sink, and he's just looking. And you can see that there's like this massive bruise around his throat. It's blue. No, it's not blue. It's violently purple and red. And his voice is kind of hoarse, and breathing kind of makes a slight noise. You know, the inhale kind of squeaks, and it's not pleasant.
Windpipe got crushed.
Got fucked a little.
Just a little.
And he's just looking, and he just seems kind of, his gaze seems very dead, if you get what I mean. His gaze feels, he feels very empty, and it's like at a point where one would cry. A normal person would cry, but he can't. He's just looking, and he can't cry. There's just nothing, and he's thinking, and his head feels right. Whatever Qythris is doing, his head is telling him, yeah, this is what is supposed to happen. We're going the right way, but his heart feels off. It's an odd feeling where he wants to trust his gut, but he doesn't know what his gut is saying. And that's just a little description of how he feels.
And then Calvert comes a knocking.
Calvus is just in his last.
Oh my god, I thought someone was actually knocking on the walls. Don't do that.
What the fuck? I thought my flatmates were knocking on my walls for a second.
Don't do that, Alex.
I got all of you.
Yeah, he's in that his last masquerade attire. His nose is kind of still bleeding, just very slowly. He just still looks fucked up, and Johan opens the door.
Calvert will just walk in,
Oh.
sit on a bed.
Take a seat, make yourself comfortable, and he'll move his little dragon. He'll move his little dragon a bit out of the way, because I assume they occupy a large part of the bed. All right. How are you feeling?
What's your deal with her? Why do you follow her so vehemently? And what the fuck is the whole deal? I don't understand anything with that. And she seems shady as fuck.
Calvus goes to sit on the bed next to you, and he shrugs. I trust her. Strangely, I don't know. The problem is she hasn't done something that would make me that gives me a reason to not trust her. So far, her goal is to, make the winter court hers again.
The second someone stands up to her, she gets so high and mighty, so defensive, so pretentious.
Godlike?
I would not say godlike, because she's... When she resurrected me,
Yeah.
I made sure to be like, this isn't an IOU. This isn't. You've done this because you wanted to. And the second I'm
No, it was an IOU, remember? It was truly an IOU.
for you, I had nothing to do with it. You made a deal to get me back for giving her the mithrite, but I had no
So
part
that
in
wasn't
it.
her. That wasn't her, yeah.
But then she dangles it above my face that she brought me back. She's so powerful. I don't trust her, and to see you be okay with her talking to you like you're a dog, and quite frankly, I don't see the difference when she talks to you like that, because you kind of act like one. You listen to her backing call. If she told you to do one thing, you'd do it in the drop of a hat.
Perhaps because we have the same goal, Calvert,
And what's that?
as far as I know.
What's the goal?
To defeat. To make.
It doesn't seem like you're very sure.
Because I'm not.
Isn't that unsettling though? You're not sure what the goal is, but she seems to have it all mapped out. And I feel like she knows more than she's letting on about the whole Thaddeus thing. And
Yes. The thing is, she is scarily powerful. She has an awful lot of power, and so has that creature that was in Thaddeus or wherever it came from. And so is the creature that is taking over the entire land, really. So there are all these massive powers that, and we don't make a difference, it feels like at this point.
so what's stopping her from just going to the fucking what's his John?
She's weak. She's weak. That's why she's, well, I guess like you would phrase it, like I'm her dog, like you're saying. She needs mithrite.
You're telling me that she's this all-powerful being, creature, whatever, but then she's weak. It's just.
She
it's
used to
nothing's
be
coming
this
up.
powerful creature. She was the queen of the Winter Court. I looked up to her. She was
happened?
great. She was mighty. I was dying. I made a, you know. What else are we
So what
supposed to do? We have
happened?
to trust someone.
What happens if she's like, kill May, get me Ishten's hut, or kill Calvert, he's gotten too powerful, or Aoife's become too loose of a cannon and is going to go on a rampage, and she wants you to kill one of us. What are you going to do? Are you going to kill one of us, or are you going to defy her? That doesn't seem good in any sense.
No. I made a promise. I swore my oath. And my oath was that I would take revenge on my father. And that we would make the Winter Court hers again. Right?
You take revenge.
Killing
on your
you
father.
is not part of that. Killing May is not part of that. Doing terrible things is not part of that. I only want to do good. I've done bad for a very long time. I'm not gonna do that again. I would stand up to her. I think.
You think?
I think.
But you wouldn't know, and that's the thing. I just don't. How do you know that everything you do for her is fully good? And she just does not seem trustworthy. I think she'll have a knack for telling you to do something and be able to spin it to seem good for you so that you think you're doing good, but it could be terrible. Like with the mithrite, we don't know what happened with all of that. She just looked all pretty again. But what, you know, none of it
She
adds
did.
up.
She did.
She slayed. She served cunt.
No, but
She might be called
I
Mithrite,
understand your
what do you
concern. I completely understand your concern, and honestly, if I wasn't this exhausted right now. I would probably be as frustrated as you. I know as little as you. Maybe I'm from a different plane or whatever, but in the end, I feel like we have the same goal. Become stronger and in the end defeat the fucking Inky Knights.
And then what?
Hope we don't die on the way.
Calvert's gonna like just stand up and like invade the person with it and just be like, the second it seems like she might try to get one of us killed, I'll know exactly who to blame, and he'll leave.
Hold on, he'll grab your wrist.
I'm gonna make you roll
Yeah.
to grapple.
Are you gonna resist?
Contested
Yeah.
grapple check. Yeah.
What do I need to roll?
You
Is
can
that
roll athletics or acrobatics, and for Calvus, it's athletics.
That's a 13.
I'm trying to find my skills on athletics, right?
Mm-hmm.
11. I rolled shit.
Yeah, you managed to snatch your wrist away before Calvus can get a grab on it.
A leaf. Well,
Then Calvus mumbles to himself. Then I'll become an oathbreaker.
We're gonna take our break here. We'll be back in 15 minutes.
Yeah, slay.
All right, and we're back and stocked back up on all of our snacks and beverages to dive right in after some great conversations. We just left off. Calvert had just stormed out of Calvus's room. And where does Calvert go?
Bed.
You go to your room?
Yeah.
Roll a D100 for me.
What?
No, you don't.
Calvert, roll a D100.
5.
5. Oh.
Oh my god. Cleric, really good
I know.
cleric roll.
If I was a cleric, I'd be so good. Right?
Calvert, you walk
Sound divinity.
into your room, and it's shockingly cold
Oh
inside
no.
your room. And you it's dark too. Your eyes take a moment to adjust to the light, and you see sat at a little like side table in the corner is Qythris, wearing a more casual outfit than she was before. She's no longer in the full battle regalia. She's wearing just not quite the like really regal looking gown she was before, just simple but elegant sort of gown as she sits relaxed with a glass of wine set.
So sorry, I think I got the wrong room.
She kind of snaps her finger at the door, slams shut. Calvert. I think we got off on the wrong foot.
I don't.
I Calvert.
really appreciate the
Calvert.
gesture.
Calvert.
You're not my type.
Calvert. First of all, you're not my type either. No worries. I'm not here to kill you. I'm not here to do anything foul to you. I would just like to talk if you would sit and share a drink with me.
It really feels like I don't have a choice because you just closed the door on me.
You
So-
don't.
Okay, great. That's amazing. What are we drinking?
Well, it's just some wine. vintage from my own personal collection back home.
Okay.
It's just ice water.
Right. Amazing. Okay. Sitting down.
She pours you a glass and offers it to you, and she refills her cup and takes a drink from the same thing. Calvert, like I said, I'm afraid we got off on the wrong foot. And I can't have you putting ideas of dissent into Calvis's head. So I just want to know if we can come to any sort of agreement, even if we're not 100% on the same page.
Like, what sort of agreement?
I just feel like, well, I don't feel like, I know you don't trust me. So if there's anything you'd like to know or ask that would help dissuade some of your reservations, now is your chance.
It seems very weird that you're like, as you mentioned earlier, you have many devout followers. Why?
I have several that are on the caliber of Calvus. Not as many as I once had, but my people are scattered and broken, as you can probably understand. A lot of people in many places are experiencing in these times.
So what would be the problem with one person having certain feelings?
I've invested a lot into Calvus, and while Calvus maintains his free will, I need that will to stay in line with what I need from him.
So why talk to me?
Because you seem to be the one that has the most doubt.
Yes, well, let me just lay out.
Yes,
how I'm
please.
perceiving this.
Please.
You've broke into the room I'm using. You are really giving off a very threatening aura. You've given me a drink to try and soften that aura a bit, but the word you're using is like sort of coated in a sharpness.
I can't help
and
my nature. I apologize.
You're you masquerade this as an equal conversation, but the power dynamic is very much in your favor. So you say we can make an arrangement to...
It's not an arrangement. I just want to know if we can talk this out. I'm not offering you anything. I'm not offering to bribe you or anything of the like. I simply wish to talk.
Okay. And you'll just tell me anything.
I can't
Just
tell
to
you
help-
everything, but I will answer you as honestly as I can.
To just sort of quiet down my reservations.
I'm not going to lie to you, Calvert. I will swear whatever oath you want to make you believe that in this moment, that I will not lie to you. And I will tell you honestly if I cannot answer something you want to know. But I need Calvus. And as an extension of that, I need your group. As you are all are very dear to Calvus. Not to mention, you are a very capable lot.
If you needed us, though, what you said earlier in the ballroom was a lie, then. you said you only need Calvus. Like, that's why you came to help, because Calvus was dying, we were dying. It doesn't matter because you just need Calvus.
I may have misspoke. I need Calvus more than I need the rest of you.
It's
It's
just
true.
convenient. If we're here.
If you would like to enter into a sort of bond like I have with Calvus, I would be able to more readily assist you specifically. But I will not press you into any sort of agreement, nor do I think that is something you are particularly interested in.
So, what is it that makes Calvus so special?
He has sworn an oath to me, willingly, that grants him power, and as he grows in power, so do I.
Seem particularly parasitic for a goddess.
I am not a goddess as this plane would define it. I don't fit into the description of the three that made this place, nor do I fit into the description of the lesser gods, such as the dragon you have met that wield power over particularly specific domains. But in my realm, I am older than the bones of that place itself.
What do you know about that creature that Thaddeus was involved with?
It is... I do not know much. I suspect many things. And if my suspicions are correct, it is a threat to Yorkfell. And anything that potentially threatens the tyrant is a potential ally of mine. I suspect it is a being that the gods of your world long thought was slain. But I have no way of proving this, as I am less familiar with the history and lore of this plane than you would think.
Why can't you go and just kill Yorkfell now?
He sits on a depository of power that rivals anything I've ever wielded myself. There are also other forces hampering my abilities to directly interfere. Once again, I suspect that something, either be it one of your gods or akin to, is influencing or backing the king. And I am also preoccupied with much of my power in reclaiming my home, which is something I think your group could aid me in.
What do you mean?
I am seeking to retake the seat of my power, my fortress. From there, I can regather my armies and stage them to begin to retake what's mine. And as what's mine becomes mine again, I will return to much of my former power. What may interest you a lot more specifically is my armory that, to my knowledge, remains unraided, hidden away in my fortress, that if I were able to regain access to, would maybe contain items that would be particularly useful to you and your goals.
And when do you plan to commence this operation?
As soon as I can.
And what does Calvert know of this?
I have not spoken to Calvert on the matter yet.
Why?
Calvert knows, generally, that is what I wish to do. But the specifics of it, I have not spoken to him of yet. I have not spoken to Calvert yet because until recently, I did not yet require his aid in the Feywild yet. Unfortunately, unfortunately for others, unfortunately for Calvert, he has proven himself to be extraordinarily more competent than some of the others I had placed faith in.
What were you to do if Calvert were to defy you?
I'd have to kill him. And that is not something I want to do. But if Calvert were to defy me, it would steal away much of the power I'd managed to regather.
Wouldn't killing him also do the same?
No, it would return it to me. But that power is much more useful to me bestowed in Calvert, so long as he maintains an alignment with myself.
Doesn't seem like a very healthy partnership.
Calvert and I have similar goals.
And when those change?
I don't
Then
think
what?
that will happen.
Okay, but if they do, and is that a sign of defiance and you just kill him?
No, defiance would be to outrightly oppose me.
Right. You've been very forthcoming. Which is a surprise. But it also makes me think that you are a lot more desperate than, you outwardly appear.
These are desperate times, and I have appearances to upkeep.
Clearly not desperate enough for you to not care about appearance.
Appearance is a weapon just as mighty as a sword.
Yes, but it's not always needed.
Which is why those pretenses have been dropped for this conversation.
Right. Is there a particular time you'd like to reclaim your throne? Because it seems like we might be able. We've got like a year until the dwarves need us again.
As soon as possible, ideally.
Cool. Why don't you go talk to Calvert about it?
I will
And
leave you to
I-
think upon what we've discussed.
I would like to, everyone needs someone to talk to. And if that's what you want this relationship to be, I can keep my lips sealed.
I would appreciate you doing so until I have spoken to Calvus, but I will not place any sort of binding on you to do so.
I appreciate that.
If you would like to speak again, and she pulls out from one of her sleeves a little pendant shaped like a snowflake, all you need to do is grasp this and speak my name.
Okay.
You may identify it if you wish to vet it.
I will place a modicum of trust into this as a show of neutral faith.
I appreciate that, Calvert. I
Next
hope...
time, ask before coming into my bedroom. It sends the wrong message.
I'm nothing if not a sucker for a dramatic flair, Calvert, as I think you can appreciate.
I can. It was very cunty, but... Okay.
I look forward to this relationship. You are quite an intelligent individual, and I respect that. I will leave you to your rest now.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you for not killing me.
I would take no pleasure in doing so if I had to.
Once again, earlier it really felt different, but
Again, darling, appearances. Appearances.
Okay.
But before I go, and she kind of just gestures to your scarred, still slightly bleeding and like broken torso, I would fix that for you free of charge as a show of good faith, if you wouldn't mind.
Okay. Sure.
And she just kind of gently reaches out her hand and places it on your torso. And you feel a soothing, cold energy wash over you as your bones are healed from where your ribs were splintered and shattered from the sword piercing through them. You are still left scarred, but the pain washes away from you.
It was unpleasant, but weird. I don't know.
I will leave you to your rest.
Thank you.
And rather than making a dramatic exit in a flurry of snowflakes, she gets up and strides out of the room, leaving you alone to rest for the night. Calvus, you hear a knocking at your door.
He stands up and he hopes that it's Orin. Like that question of earlier still lingers in his mind of what are they? And then he realized that it's only really Calvus that has really been chasing Orin, so he's kind of like hoping it would be Orin. And then he opens the door.
And it's Orin.
Yay!
And he stands there. He's removed his armor and is in the equivalent of basically just like pajamas. And he looks very tired. And he's just like, I thought Well, I thought we could rest together.
Come inside.
And he comes into the room.
And Calvus is quiet for a bit. There's a lot going through his mind, and I think this is something that maybe Oren is one of the few that would understand this. Oren. What would you say is the difference between a dog and a soldier?
Soldier can make decisions for itself.
Alright. I just want you to know that I do think that I'm a soldier.
I think so too.
I am one.
You're
I appreciate it.
one of the greater soldiers I've had the pleasure of meeting.
Well, that's an honor hearing that come from you, really. But you know that.
You look troubled, Calvus.
Well, aren't you?
Well, on one hand, I've just received the promotion of a lifetime. On the other, it's because the entire command structure of my people was slaughtered in one fell swoop. So you could say I'm conflicted.
I can imagine that. Been a rough couple of weeks, haven't it?
You could say that.
Right.
And it looks like we'll be marching to war again.
What is your task with this new role?
I'm to oversee the preparations of Her Majesty's armies. She seeks to manufacture even more of the mechanical titans that guard our borders and use them to march upon the Inguinites' lands.
Does that mean that you'll stay here with me?
For the time being, my duties require so.
You'll be missed.
Likewise.
Thank you for everything over the past year. It's been hard, and you've had one hell of a duty just saving all those refugees, and I am honored that you saved mine.
I'd do it all again to meet you.
I think I would do the same.
I hope that when we do march, I'll have you fighting alongside me.
And he sticks out his hand and he says, I promise.
And he takes it and pulls you into an embrace.
That was something else I was gonna do.
Just kiss
Go ahead.
already.
Go ahead.
Just smooch.
Of course, he
Kiss.
kisses Odin after that.
He holds the kiss for quite a few lingering moments.
Are you tired? Because I am.
I'm exhausted.
Come over here.
And that's where we'll take our long rest.
Perfectly timed.
If I could wolf whistle and it would pick up, I would. I can't do it. It won't pick up on the mic.
Hold on, I can...
Not that kind of wolf whistle, but the thought is there.
It's the best thing I can do.
Yeah.
So you all are able to have your rest, and morning rolls around. You are not immediately summoned by the queen. So if there's anything anyone would like to do in the morning, you may.
I got a 6 on my d6 roll.
Okay.
Ooh. Sexy. A sexy 6.
Yeah, you really want that 5.
I do.
We're waiting for that 5. We're waiting for the
I know.
5.
I still think it'll be funny if it never happens.
I will-
Yeah.
The likelihood of that happening is so low, but I can see it happening.
We're 13 sessions in and it hasn't happened.
To be fair, I should have just spam rolled for every day we were on that boat.
Everything's falling apart.
Yes. Oh god, who raised their hand first? I was looking at something.
Me.
Okay, go ahead.
I have 2 things I want to do, but I'll do one
Two
thing.
things. Oh, go ahead.
2 things. I
Two whole
think
things.
two whole things.
Two whole
Um,
things.
I think Aoife is gonna like once it's like an acceptable time for everyone to be up.
Mhm.
Because Aoife may not be able to read social cues, but she knows that Calvert and Orin have a thing going on.
Mhm.
They're swapping spit. Ew.
Gay.
And
Gay.
yeah.
They spit in each other's mouths.
No, but I think Aoife doesn't want to walk into any of that, so she waits for like an acceptable time.
Mhm.
I will say, May has built Aoife and May, instead of them sleeping in a big ass room, she's built like a fort made out of pillows and blankets and like big ass
Yeah.
duvets to
That's
like make it a
adorable.
little enclosure into the room.
Yeah.
This is camp cozy.
I will say there's like a common area near all of these suites where like some breakfast foods will have been delivered to, so y'all can share a nice wee
Yeah.
breakfast together.
Ooh, a nice wee breakfast. No, but Aoife's gonna go and look for Calvus.
Okay.
I don't know where Calvus would be. Probably.
Where is Callus?
Calvus is still in his bedroom. I think that by now Orin has left and started doing his own thing.
Orin probably would have been summoned pretty early. But
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Calvus has been up for a while.
Oh yeah.
But
I'm just trying to say this as delicately as possible, but Aoife does not want to walk up in on them fucking
Yeah, no, you don't worry about it.
traumatized.
honestly, I don't know.
It's
I'm not-
bad enough. She's already a wolf girl. Her hearing's pretty good. She just wants to put the pillow
No,
on my
I
head.
get. Just don't worry. But
I
yeah,
know.
you.
Yeah, but she knocks at the door.
Calvis opens.
Hello.
For a second, he looks at you.
Mm-hmm.
And then what he immediately does is he wraps his arms around you, around his waist. And because you're shorter than him, he can't pick you up and gives you the tightest hug.
Aoife, she's a bit confused by the random hug, but like she hugs back. You're huggy this morning.
Thank you for not dying.
Thank you for not dying too. I guess. I was just making sure you were like okay. Because you seemed really like, you know, kinda ooh yesterday. After, you know, thingy. And then after Snow Lady, Qythris. Is she gonna get offended if I call her Snow Lady?
I don't think so. She is practically a snow lady. By the way, I'm gonna put you down. Hold on.
Thank you. I'm
still slower.
hovering like over a foot over the ground. It's a bit scary.
I get that. Don't worry.
No, you don't. You're tall.
Alright,
How's
by
the
way,
weather up there?
What?
How's
It's
the weather
cold up
up there?
Snowstorm. Also, do you mind walking with me towards breakfast?
Yeah, sure.
I'm not doing too great, but honestly, who of us is really? There's a lot of questions, you know, a lot of things I'm unsure about.
Like
You know,
what?
the things that Calvert stopped by me yesterday, and I don't really know who I am sometimes.
What? I don't get that. What do you mean?
What I'm supposed to do, whether I'm a soldier or, like he said, a dog, you know?
You call her a dog?
Yeah, I know, right? Which is crazy because dogs are awesome, like, you know.
If anyone was going to be called a dog, I thought it would be me, but okay.
You're the
I got
best
that dog in
Don't
me.
worry about that. Don't worry. I need to rush your head. You know?
The tail starts wagging.
You know? How are you doing? What's going on in your mind?
A lot.
Your eyes said the opposite. The way you were looking in the distance, head empty.
There's
No.
yeah, yesterday just brought back some stuff that I'd rather not remember. And then I remembered stuff. Or I thought I was gonna remember you know when you like think you're about to remember something and then you don't, and it's like just at the tip of your like
On the edge, and you're trying to grasp it, and it slips away further.
Yeah. That happened yesterday and I'm not really sure why. But also, I think I broke like 6 of my ribs yesterday.
Oh god. Have they healed by now?
Yeah, they've healed. You know, power of a good nap.
Nothing like a good night's sleep.
Nothing like a long rest.
Thank God for magic.
Yeah. No, but I don't understand. What do you mean you're struggling with soldier or dog? Go into that more. I don't explain.
I've just been struggling with it a bit lately with the fact first I fought as a gladiator in the Feywild for I don't know how long, decades perhaps. And now I fight for Qythris. And I wonder if there's a difference in the end. I mean, the goals are different, of course, but sometimes you just wonder if you're more there than, you know, a warrior.
I mean, you're Calvus.
I am.
You're not people don't get put into boxes so easily. I don't think. I mean, maybe it's just a me thing. I don't like being put in a box. Maybe it's the whole shifter thing.
Understandable.
But I do agree with Calvert a little bit. I think she knows more than she's letting on, but if you think she's cool, then I trust you.
She for sure is cool in the temperature way, but whether she at the point at my life where I was when I met her, she was the most trustworthy person I had met in decades. So yes, at that point she was very trustworthy. She had the same goal as me. And I don't know anymore. Perhaps.
I think what I've learned being around people is that everyone has their own goals. Sometimes we filter into them. You know, we're useful to some people and we can help them with things. And in return, they help us with things to help our goal. And that's how people work. You know, it can be little things like, I have 2 sheep, you have money, give money for sheep. And both parties go away happy. But the fancy people, the people that have a lot of power, not physical power per se, but like they have the fancy chairs, you know, the big gold chair we saw yesterday.
Yeah, exactly.
They play it to a much bigger scale than us regular people. I mean, if she's like really old, I don't know what her thing is with the value of humanoid life, and I don't know. I'm just trying to get by. You're trying to get by. So is Calvert, so is me, so is Midra, so is Orin. I think we're all just trying to get by, and however we do that is good for me.
I agree. I do what I do to get by, and hopefully, in the end, do the right thing. You know.
I mean, you do the right thing most of the time.
I try to. Thank you. But I do think that Calvert had a point. Although I do not like it, he might be right. Perhaps she's not to be trusted. I don't know what I will.
I think we just see where it goes. If she asks you to do something that you really don't want to do, then we can be grouped together and be like, well, actually, no, our friend doesn't feel comfortable doing that.
Unionize
Thank you.
against Qythris.
Unionize!
Yeah.
Support your local unions or I will come to your house.
But I do think that over the years I've grown to have an opinion. I know what I do think is right, and I know what is wrong in my mind. So once Qythris pulls something I don't like, I won't follow her anymore. It's as easy as that. There's a difference between a patron and an oath, in my mind. It may be sworn to her, but...
I mean, you're sworn to the Winter Court. You know, you're doing what you believe is best for your people. That might not necessarily agree with what she thinks, but you're doing what you think is best for your people. I don't think that that's going against anyone or breaking any oaths. I think if she tries to pull you up for that, I think she's either very arrogant or very, very stupid.
Let's
Also,
hope it doesn't come that far.
would you like to hold Una? Because you said you weren't feeling so good.
How about we do tradesies? You hold my little dragon. He's getting heavier though. He's eating a lot, so
Yeah, he's a growing boy.
he's a growing boy. And thank you very much. How about how about you? What you got some memories yesterday? Some things that remind you. If you would like to share, of course. Don't feel obligated to.
I think to not do the whole spiel that I said to me.
Oh yeah. Fair.
Again, yeah, we're just gonna fast track and Aoife's gonna say the same thing because, like, honestly, I didn't write that down. That was all improv, so I cannot remember for the life of me.
As you
Fair,
all
fair.
kind of finish up that bit of the conversation, like a page will come up in
Mhm.
chambers and tell you that, like, you know, the queen wants to see you in like half an hour. So you, like, you know, ready yourselves, get
Understood.
yourselves looking kind of nice to present yourselves to the court, type of deal. You've been officially summoned.
All of us are like just Calvert.
All of you. Yeah.
Can I?
Can Parsley come? That
Yeah.
is the question.
Yes.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Dragons coming to court, baby.
Was it a necklace you said? Sorry, or
It was like a little pendant. You could put it on a necklace or keep it in your pocket or.
okay, maybe a bit easier. I'm just gonna put my hand in my pocket and clench the pendant. The Qythris.
Yeah, you just hear in your head, just, I didn't think you'd be using it quite so soon.
Oh, I just wanted to.
Yeah,
Can
I'm
I just
teasing.
Oh, okay. When are you talking to Calvert about the?
I was going to speak to him before you go talk to the queen. I didn't want to interrupt his time with Oren.
Oh, they were okay. Yeah, that'd be really awkward, wouldn't it?
Yeah, you know, wink, 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 nudge, nudge, and all that. Is there anything else you needed?
With your like Fae shit, do you have like a spy network or something?
Of a sorts.
I just need to put some feelers out in Sun Reserdu. We missed something when we were there.
I will see what I can do.
Thank you. And I'll let go of the pendant.
The line hangs up. You hang up the call.
The first few seconds of touching it, it's just like. Doo, 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 doo.
Your call could not be connected. Calvus, as you finish up your conversation with Aoife, you feel like a sense of like beckoning back into your room, like just something's drawing you back in there.
How about you go ahead? I feel like I think I forgot something.
Do you want me to take the baby?
Yeah, sure. Keep.
Okay.
Don't let him eat all of that. By the way, that's not good for him.
Yeah,
Okay.
you go by the breakfast table and
That's
Parcel's
chocolate.
just like
He'll die
just
from
like
that.
is like just trying to break out of your grip to get to the breakfast food.
No, we're having meat. I like it.
Just
You
kind
can deep freeze it.
just huffs like a puff of cold air out of its nostrils frustratedly.
Yeah, Aoife puffs at him too. To complete that game.
Really, just a toddler.
He's a baby.
He is a baby. I love him
He's-
so much. Something better not happen to that
Yeah,
baby.
he's heading back to his room.
Yeah,
Yes.
you go back to your room, you close the door, there is a flurry of frost and snow and cold air, and Qythris, in her usual splendor, is standing before you.
Come in.
She just gives you a look at that, just like someone's ballsy.
How are you doing? How is the Feywild?
It's as much of a mess as it has been, as you know.
I know. I was there for a couple seconds a couple days ago.
I thought I'd felt something. You seem off.
It's you know, I made this oath with you, of course.
Yes, I'm
And-
familiar.
Yeah, I'm glad you remember. But nobody's to be trusted nowadays, and I'm just gonna be that honest here with you. What does it matter? How can I trust you?
I'm your queen, Calvus. What is it specifically you're having trouble trusting me about?
I don't have a reason.
Is it?
It's
Are you struggling with trusting that I have the best interests of my people in mind?
It's a gut feeling. And it's tough to pinpoint those. The thing is, I want to trust you. My head tells me to trust you. I mean, I want to save the Winter Court as much as you.
I would hope so.
Qythris,
Yes, my child.
what does the Winter Court look like right now?
Our people are scattered, enslaved. A pretender sits on my throne.
Who's that pretender?
I think you know.
All right. Thank you for saving the day again yesterday.
I care for you, Calvus. Beyond the simple investment I've made in you, you've shown a devotion beyond the others who swore vengeance similar to you did.
Can you promise me one thing?
If it is within my power to do so.
That I will keep my free will at all costs. And that you will respect that.
I will respect your autonomy and free will until the moment you would use it against me. I can promise nothing more.
Seems fair. Is there anything you need from me, by the way?
Yes. Funny you should mention it. I understand one of your friends has acquired a particularly potent ability. One that would allow you to enter my fortress undetected and help me reclaim the seat of my power.
Out of character. I hadn't thought of that. I hadn't thought of that yet. That's very clever.
Yes.
I just remembered that is indeed a thing. That is actually, thank you for saying that. Remember. for reminding me, Qythris.
I think
but
it's
yes,
time we remove the pretender from my throne. What say you?
I am not on my own anymore. And I think we all have our goals. And I think our goal now lies in that little port town. I forgot the name of it. It's a shithole. And there are a lot of people dying and starving and sick over there. I think we might stop by over there real quick. And maybe then. Certainly then. I think.
How about you scratch my back, I scratch yours?
Yeah.
You help me retake my throne, and I will help you with whatever your goals are in that city. And furthermore, Calvus, I want you to help the new queen, Mydra, whatever she asks of you.
While retaining my free will, then
Well,
yes.
yes, of course.
Okay.
I would like you to convince the rest of your group to aid her cause. She will be a particularly helpful ally in the time to come.
I believe that. She seemed very strong.
Yes.
A lot of willpower.
She's a breath of fresh air compared to her grandfather.
For real. Truly. I think we're already on that page. Orin trusts her, and
Good. I like Orin.
then I.
He's
Me
strong.
too. Yes, he is. Alright. Then we will go to our goals. And I think I'll see you soon, won't I?
Yes. And I will reward you and your friends greatly, of course, for success in reclaiming my throne.
I appreciate that. Honestly, reclaiming the Winter Court is already quite a reward, but I think the rest also appreciates that.
Go now. There's another queen that begs your attention.
Alright, thank you. I'll see you soon. Your Highness. And he wants one shot.
And with a flurry similar to how she appeared, she vanishes.
Cool. Cool.
Yes, Chloe.
Out of character, because it could be two things. By the new ability, does she mean the
I was
gate thing that you-
referring to Gate. Yes, I was referring to
okay.
Gate.
I didn't know if you were referring to Gate or referring
Nope.
to like Vass's wee.
No, I was referring
things.
to
Okay,
Gate.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought that was what you were referring to.
Yep.
I just had to check.
Yep.
I hadn't thought of that yet. That's actually brilliant. Yeah.
I think this is where we're going to end session for today. And we will pick it up next time with your audience, with Queen Mydra.
Ooh.
Oh,
Unless there's any last quick things someone wants to tackle while we wait for Lukas to come back.
not me.
Okay.
In that case, a very massive thank you to Alex. Thank you for another great DMing session, keeping us on the edge of our chairs and screaming most of the time internally. That's a great thing you can cause when you're a DM, and that's good.
Yeah.
All right. A big thank you to all our players, Lukas, Robyn, Chloe, and Elliot. Again, just incredible what they bring to the table with each and every one of their characters.
If you would like to join us next week, we are kicking off a new campaign, I think, right? Yes. Which I will leave a mystery.
We
Ooh.
can talk about it a wee bit if you want. Like,
Yeah.
Lucas,
go
if
ahead.
you wanna, You want to give us a little sneak peek?
Yeah, before we wrap up like properly, like after we've done the spiel.
Oh, okay.
Or I can do it now. Whatever's easier. I'll do it now, actually, because yeah. So yeah, I'll be DMing, returning back to the DM chair. Next week we'll be traveling the world of I've forgotten the name. I'm drawing a blank.
Valora.
Laura.
That's the continent.
You're just like me. You're just
Yeah.
like me.
You're just like you. You're just like
Just like me.
Isn't it like a
Um,
Rosera or whatever?
It's something
Okay.
like that. But yeah, the continent of Valora. It's sort of a vibe. The party will be in the country of Pergoda. Yeah. It's gonna be pretty fun. Pretty fun.
All
Please
right.
tune in next week to see everyone's pretty characters, because if we're nothing if not consistent with a pretty party.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Always.
Again.
Until then, if you've missed any of this campaign, you can find all previous episodes on YouTube at youtube.com/PowerWordQuest.
And if you want the campaign as an audio-only podcast, you can find us on Spotify and Google Play.
That's it from us for this week. We will see you in the next one.